Hello, CCL Sports Cards fans. What is up? And welcome back to another episode. Today, I'm going to tell you about 3 prospects who I feel have been left for dead, and they are far from done in my opinion. These 3 were once highly coveted prospects and certainly top chases when the given Bowman sets were released. Now, these 3 are not players who are in their mid to late 20s and fighting their way to the show. These cats are the opposite. They are still young. And they have delivered as a pro, but have gone cold or gotten hurt or just haven't had any real success in 2022. And as a result, their cards have taken a beating, giving you, the collector or investor, a much better price to load up at, which may lead to some nice returns down the road when these players turn the corner. But before we get to the good stuff, if you are enjoying CCL Sports Cards, be sure to like this episode and then hit that subscribe button. We are closing in on 600 subscribers, and to say that the reception we have gotten on this platform has been wonderful would be an understatement. To come out here each week and talk baseball stars and prospects is such a gift, and I could not be more grateful for the growing audience. So thank you very much. And with that, let's rock and roll and start with the 3rd round pick and 86th overall in the 2021 MLB draft when the Milwaukee Brewers selected Alex Binelas out of Louisville. Alex, who is a left-handed hitting third baseman with his power being ranked as a 55, which is plus power by the way, and has been backed up by his 17 home runs in 279 at-bats this season so far between Greenville and High A and Double A Portland. I mean, that's ultimately why the Brewers spent $700,000 on him, the pop in his bat. He did it in college at Louisville, and now he's doing it as a pro. He also sports a rating of 50 for his arm on his scouting report, and judging by his fielding percentage, it makes me really doubt that he'll move off the hot corner, if ever. He's that good. Now, be aware that it's not all sunshine and rainbows with Binelas. He's hitting a very low 127 so far in Double A. But if we dig a bit deeper, he's actually getting better. Upon promotion in June, Binelas went just 1 for 17. But so far in July, 7 for 46. He's not shooting the lights out, but he's improving, and he is noted as a very streaky hitter. Also of note is Alex's 3 stints on my personal cold list this season, which makes me like him even more. So, it stands to reason that he is in the cold part of his streakiness, and what better time to invest in a player than when he is down, but not out. Let's not forget that Alex hit nearly 340 last September, which is why his cards were so hot this offseason when 2021 draft released. In my opinion, Alex is far from down and out, but clearly the Red Sox think they have something in Alex as well. Binelas is a really peculiar situation to me for many reasons, the first of which is the major decline in his card prices. Here's a guy who is just 22 years old, so lots of runway left before he's considered old, and then he got traded from the Brewers to the Red Sox in the Jackie Bradley deal, and you could argue that Boston is a much better market when compared to Milwaukee. And that's not to slight the Brew Crew at all, of whom I've been a fan of ever since Bernie Mac portrayed Mr. 3000 years ago. But I digress. Alex has been promoted to Double A, and even though he has scuffled terribly at points, the Red Sox again think they have something because for the time being, he's staying put and being given opportunities to right the ship and get hot. Look at his latest card sales on eBay. These are not the prices of a guy who is struggling. These are the prices of a guy who's on his way out. July 10th, just a week ago, a refractor auto in PSA 10 sold for $105. I actually bought that one. Yes, I am buying this cat and I like him. July 9th, a 2021 Bowman Draft Chrome Green refractor auto in PSA 10 sold for $142.50. Take a look for yourself. I say buy cheap on this fella. Ask yourself, what's the downside? $100? For a gem? He's 22. You have tons of time to make money on him or to sell around here at this price point if he continues to struggle. But I like Alex and I am a buyer. Again, you can find his cards in 2021 Bowman Draft. And that brings us to an 18-year-old shortstop who was signed for $3 million out of Venezuela, who touts a 55 for hitting on his scouting report. So he's got plus hitting. 45 power, 55 runs, so plus wheels, a 55 arm, and 55 fielding. Like, whoa! I can see why he got $3 million. Currently playing for the Tampa Bay Rays in the Florida Coast League, the FCL. Batting left, number 55, Carlos Colmenares. Carlos has a great swing, and as I mentioned above, great tools. And when 2021 Bowman Chrome was released, he was one of the big chase cards. And up until a week ago, he's been ice cold, hitting somewhere in the low 200s with no home runs and not much else to really get excited about. But as I wrote this script, he actually hit his first pro home run on July 14th. Congrats, kid. Even with that flash of power, I think there is still a ways to go in regards to a player whose career as a pro reads 262, 1 home run, 10 steals, and an OPS of 712. What I mean by that is there is lots of time to get some of his cards, and lots of reason for optimism when you look at his ceiling as a player. I say load up on Carlos. The market clearly agrees with me. A green auto and PSA 10 sold for $305 on July 13th. Dirt cheap. Just the day before, a similar card sold for $230. If that doesn't convince you, on July 7th, the purple BGS 95 sold for just $201 at auction. These are not the card prices of a player who is 18 and ranked 8 in the Tampa organization. So, in my opinion, plenty of upside, very little downsides when it comes to Carlos. When Chrome came out, you'd have paid double if not triple for the aforementioned cards. Carlos's first Bowman autos can be found in 2021 Bowman Chrome, and again, I am a buyer. And now we get to my favorite forgotten player of the whole trio. I am over the moon excited about this 19-year-old outfielder, and have been since 2021 Bowman draft dropped. As with most new releases, I had to let the hype cool. Taken 64th overall by your Pittsburgh Pirates out of Malvern Prep Lonnie White Jr. The ceiling on Lonnie is so high, currently ranked 14th on MLB.com for the Pirates. And what's not to like about Lonnie? He has so much athleticism. He could have gone to Penn State to play football and baseball on a full scholarship, but the Pirates lured him away with a $1.5 million signing bonus. Not a bad sum for the 64th overall pick. He has incredible wheels, sporting a 70 on his scouting report. 70! Couple that with a 60 for his fielding, and he profiles as a potential superstar center fielder one day. And with a 50 for power and a 6'3 frame, I think he can one day be a fellow who steals 30 plus bags, if not 40, and hits 30 out of the yard with routine. I say that not only based off his scouting reports and his size, but also from the small sample size Lonnie gave us late last season, where he had 8 hits and 31 at bats, 2 of which were doubles, 2 were home runs, and he knocked in 5 runs. There is so much to like in Lonnie and his abilities. Why is Lonnie so forgotten just months after 2021 draft was released? He's been hurt, and collectors and investors have just kind of moved on. He's been dealing with hamstring issues and elbow issues, and because he is 19 and he has such a high ceiling, the Bucks are rushing him back to the field. It makes sense. His cards tell the story of his lack of popularity, which is a great opportunity in my opinion. An orange auto and BGS 9 with good subs sold for just $258 on July 12th. Even better, a true gold BGS 9.5 sold for $213 on July 4th. I'm still bummed I missed that auction, but life happens and there are always other opportunities. Like the raw purple auto that sold for just $50 at auction. Just $50. I say back up the truck on Lonnie. That's it, that's all, folks, for this episode. Tell me, who do you think stacks up well with my favorite forgotten prospects? Who do you think is deserving of a second look these days while the market continues to slide? Tell me in the comments below. And thank you as always for watching. I so appreciate your time. Keep in mind that anything I say on this channel is strictly my opinion and should be taken as such. You all have an awesome day.